what brought you to doing YouTube? I see not only a lot of activity recently, but on your channel, your most recent video was an introduction to orchestra and talking about Western instruments and how they fit within like musical compositions. You have a video that's very extensive and very useful about music theory 101. You have covers, you have originals, you have lectures, you have product overviews. How did all of this come about and how did you decide to put it on your YouTube?
Well, if you look at the video dates, most of them are quite recent. That was the breaking point when I was finally asked if I could represent a company which not many people know that is Turkish. I work for KV331 Audio, which produces the soft Synthmaster. Synthmaster and its lighter version, Synthmaster 1, have been actually quite acclaimed. We have won the Music Radar polls and such. So nobody thinks that a synth out of Turkey could be so comprehensive and so powerful. And what I do is to act as not only the brand face, but also the person who prepares, for instance, the user manual videos. So I learned, therefore, sound design on a much deeper level. And as my knowledge about that grew, I thought, why shouldn't I just start a YouTube channel? There are so many male YouTubers who are very good at what they do, but very few female YouTubers. And maybe I can give something new. I would just have a different point of view, since I would maybe foreground different things. So that's how I started, with very humble equipment, very small things, such as, for instance, I have one video on how to connect an iRig Pro, which is like a very tiny audio interface that you can connect either to your iPhone or to your iPad. It's a mobile sound card for means and purposes. But I'm very sure there are very comprehensive and very technical other tutorials about it. What I do is just to show how I use it. And that happened to really be catching people. And that's basically my motivation. About the lectures, I would say if we try to not conscript people into art music is going to disappear. And I feel that this would be such a great loss. It is not a music of dead white European male composers for old, mostly white, elitist, rich people. This is just such a misrepresentation. We should come over this. And if I can help a single grain of sand, then this is achievement unlocked for me. So it's because of my love of this music that I dabble in opera, I dabble in, for instance, orchestration. I have taken all those lessons. I have like also yet another master's degree on historical musicology too. So what good is my knowledge to me if I hoard it? That's why I just try to, whenever I find time and whenever my university students demand, of course, whenever they need some supplements, I just make it for YouTube and upload to my channel. So that's basically it. And about performances, yes, I think most old videos, especially our performance videos, I'm often told I don't have the greatest singing voice, but I do love writing songs and I do love arranging songs on different setups, different studio setups. So I asked my followers, please put up with my voice. I know it is not great, but I mean, there are worse singers. And I'm a pretty good instrumentalist, I would say. So that's basically the essence of everything I do.
I will say that Billy Corgan, one of my favorite musicians from the Smashing Pumpkins, isn't
Mhm.
known for his singing voice, but at the same time, he does have a very interesting timbre. He knows how to compose and songwrite well, and he puts all of that together into very interesting and compelling music. And I think you do the same, except you sound a lot better than Corgan. So
Thank you. This is a compliment. Maybe I couldn't yet find my audience.
I'm sure it'll come. It seems like you're very invested in contributing to knowledge and
I'm an
furthering someone's
educator.
interest in music.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an educator. That's also a calling besides music, because not many people have that actually, and people sort of really scorn educators, which is so wrong. a good educator can help you find that calling in life. And if I'm a good educator and I'm showing people the way, like I had to struggle and find myself, then this will be my legacy basically. Actually, recently I have applied for a government fund in my own country, Turkey. And if I manage to get it, I'm going to set up a web page, a totally free web portal, which will be a translation of musictheory.net. If your followers don't know that website, it's a very good one. Most lessons are free. They have an app, actually, an iOS app, which is not free, but it is worth every penny. And that teaches you how to read sheet music, how to read notation, how to make sense of musical terms and symbols. And we don't have anything at all, its equivalent in Turkish. So people are lost. People cannot really connect what is being told at school and what they hear and what kind of music is around them in the traditional sense. Of course, Turkish music was also studied and devoted to writing, committed to paper, using the Western notation. So a bağlama player from Kars is unable to go into the Turkish radio and television's archives and find a folk song which is compiled and committed to Western notation in the 1930s by his grandfather and play it because he cannot read notation. If I could average that, that would be really my legacy. That would be something that I really want to do. So I applied for that funding. I'm waiting for it. Therefore, I would say education, educating as much as performing excites me too.
That's very selfless. That's incredible what you do.
Thank you.
I wish when I was growing up that we had educators like you. Of course, like, I grew up in the very early stages of the internet, pre-YouTube, but it still would have been incredible to see, as someone who went to music school, who went to art schools throughout his life, to actually have someone that wanted to supplement what we were being taught, and they would expand the concept and the history of music. Like you were saying, it's not just classical, it's not just read sheet music and accept it for the format that it originally came in. We need to keep up with the times. Before, music used to be about creating something that would continue to push and further what the genres were, and now it seems like so many people would rather just keep it in the past and let it stay there. So I'm very excited to hear what you're doing, and I'm sure my followers, your followers, and many others who will come to your channel are going to look forward to what you're going to put out eventually.
Thank you.